Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 713. It is time for a haircut and a shave. I noticed that this morning. It's like, it's my hair's getting a little out of control. Do I have toothpaste on my mouth again? Time to get a haircut and a shave. Good morning, happy Friday. It's here. I don't even have anything to look forward to on the weekend. What I get to look forward to is what I do all day, every day, which is awesome. I need to get caught up. And why do I need to get caught up? Well, because I made a boo-boo. What's up to the chat? David is here. Happy Friday to you. Ed, good morning. Matt is with us. It's Friday. It absolutely is. Jenny says it's finally Friday, and the weather is going to be sunny in the 60s today through the weekend. Terry, what's up? Good morning to you. Matt says the World Series. I don't even know when the World Series begins. I'm kind of like baseballed out. I'm kind of I watch the NBA a little bit here and there. I'll watch college football tonight, game one. Zach and Porter in the house. Victor, good morning to you. Dan is with us. What's up? Johnny Boy Cards is here. The whole gang. So I made a boo-boo. What boo-boo did I make? Well, remember last month I was pulling my hair out with tax season. So my business year ends September 30th. I was getting all of my stuff, and I knew I probably didn't take as good of record as I should have, because when it comes to tax time and all of a sudden you're like sifting through documents and papers and accounts and trying to reconcile everything. So I got a little message from my accountant, and it was a lengthy one, and those are never good. Lengthy emails from your accountant, not good. And he's like, "Hey, I've got all your statements, but they're not categorized." And I'm like, He's like, "We can do that, but it's going to cost you more money." And I'm cheap. And I know when my accountant says it's going to cost you more money, that means it's going to cost me way more than I want to pay. When he says it's going to cost you more money, that's not what you want to hear. So, like, it'll take a few hours. And for me to do it for a few hours, what do I lose out on? Listing 1,000 cards on eBay? It's going to cost me more to pay the accountant for those 3 hours than it's going to cost the opportunity cost. So it's like, I'll do it. It took me longer than 3. It took me about 6 hours to go through all my business accounts, put it down into spreadsheet, categorize. Now, I wasn't like sitting in front of my computer for 6 straight hours. Remember the whole ADD thing. I should have popped some Vicodin. Maybe that would have helped me stay focused. So that's what I was burdened with yesterday. So I did limited shipping. I did limited listing. I did limited Goodwill sorting, but I did find some good things. I pulled out a few things last night that I'll show off and share today from the Goodwill Pallet. There's still a ton of stuff. I've noticed, and I've said this before, it seems like I pull all the good stuff early. Like the first couple boxes I pull always has the good stuff in the Goodwill pallets. I figured out a reason why. Because I cherry pick. I caught myself yesterday pulling out. It's like, those binders suck. I'm not going to bring those binders in. I don't know what's in this box. So I cherry pick. And that's why, like, the first few boxes I bring in, because I'm like, what's in here? It's kind of like on Christmas morning. You're shaking your presents. This sounds like a video game. This sounds like socks. So you cherry pick. So that's what I've been doing with my Goodwill. I've been cherry picking. So I made a point to pull out the binders, even though I knew like the binders sucked. I'm like, I'm just going to get them into the basement. Basically the binders, the ones that you may have seen in the photos, have like in like little kid writing in black marker, like White Sox, New England Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs. And they're cards from like the football card, like the mid 90s when there's like no rookies. So it's pre-Brady, post Barry Sanders. Like the dog days of football rookies. Baseball, same, like junk wax era. So I'll pull some decent cards here or there. So Zach and Porter, get ready. The White Sox binder has your name on it. The rest are going in a bulk. Braves, Herman could get the Braves. The rest I'm bulking out. So and it's not like there's a ton of cards. There's maybe a few hundred cards in there. So and Zach, I am leaving. There's some Frank Thomas cards in the White Sox binder. Some Carlton Fisks. I mean, I'm sure it's all cards you have, but hey, White Sox are yours. So let's go to the chat. We've got Ken. What's up, Ken? I've been baseballed out for about 10 years. Ken, I'm glad you're here because I don't know if you've heard me talk about Ripapalooza or whatever the hell I called it before. I don't know what I'm actually going to call it. I haven't begun promoting it yet. But Saturday, December 10th, I'm going to do a big, giant StreamYard breakathon, ripathon, Ripapalooza. I'm just going to break. And if nobody joins me, cool. If a bunch of people want to join, awesome. But I'm going to do it regardless. If I have 0 people watching, it's just going to be a chance for me to watch have a Hallmark Christmas movie on in the background, or it's Saturday. There's probably no college football on December 10th. That's in like the dead period of college football, but I'm just going to rip. And you're all welcome to join. So I'll have the StreamYard link. You can pop in early and often. If you want to join for the whole thing, you're welcome. If you just want to pop in and break a couple packs, you're welcome. So it's going to be open to everybody. So that's Saturday, December 10th. And the reason, kid, I want you on is because we haven't done our wrestling pack war that John Keating gave us a 90 classic WWF back, and it's sitting on a box. And as I was like moving boxes around, I'm like, oh, damn, I forgot I had the 90 classic, and Ken and I are supposed to do a pack war. So I want to do a pack war, and maybe we can do it on during Ripapalooza or whatever the hell we call it. Let's take names because I'm not sold on Ripapalooza. I'm not sold. I'll take some suggestions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. What should we call it? It's going to be like this hours-long stream of just friends opening packs of cards and boxes of cards, and we're just going to have a good old time. So Rip, I called it something before, and then all of a sudden I got caught on Ripapalooza, but I'm not sold on that name. So I'm open to suggestions. Saturday, December 10th. And kid's been baseballed out for years, about 10 years. Let's see. C&M Collectibles, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny said, so you didn't put like shipping costs and supply costs and purchases or what? So basically what happened was I did all that for like anything that did not come out of my business account. What I didn't keep close track of is what I didn't categorize was, so like shipping costs is figured into eBay because basically everything shipping wise is categorized in eBay. So I print the monthly statement for eBay and it shows me. That's why I like keeping everything on eBay, because like all of that is like, here's what you paid shipping, here's what you paid in fees, and here's what you grossed and netted on eBay. That's why I like I like the KISS principle. Keep it simple. So obviously inventory, supplies, stuff like that, meals, travel, other expenses, I have to categorize. So, I mean, the good thing with the easy thing, it's all through my business account. Well, the stuff that was not through my business account, I had categorized that already. It's the business account stuff that I just kind of like, it's part of the business. At the end of the day, I know what's, it's only business expenses. So at the end of the day, I know how much money I'm bringing in and how much is going out. So that's what I didn't categorize, was like all the other stuff. Let's see. John says, pulled it out. He said, Jenny says a friend had someone offer him $500 for his box of cards because his friend wants to sell on eBay. He had me look at them. I told him to take the money and run. 89 and 90 tops. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? where are we at? Let's see. Cooter says, good morning. You should have more accounting talk. So when I went back to school, so I went to community college out of high school because I was a slacker, and actually community college, like, kids do it. I don't think I have anybody like college age or younger based on my demographics. So it's falling on deaf ears, preaching to the choir. But that's the way to, like, because you get all your gen ed at a fraction of a 4-year university. Anyway, so I went to community college mainly because I didn't have the grades to get into a decent school. So I went to community college. And then I got my associate's degree, and then I was in radio, and I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to college. I have full-time. I'm on my second full-time radio job. It's my new career, blah, blah, blah. Then I get close to 30. I'm closing in on 30, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should get my 4-year degree just for something to bounce back on, or fall back on. And so I went to business school and got a marketing degree. And, I was early on, I was getting those 101 classes taken care of, accounting. And I was good at it, and I liked it because I like numbers. I don't like math, but I like numbers. Although some of the homework problems that would take me 3 hours to complete, because I would get like one problem, I would get one number off, and I'm like pulling my hair out. What in the hell is going on? But overall, I liked accounting, and I had a friend whose dad was an accountant, and we were visiting their place, and he's asking me about, the college life, playing Rodney Dangerfield, back to school. And I'm like, you know what? I really like accounting. And he's like, no, don't do it. He up and down. He swore up and down. And it's not for me. And I learned that yesterday, going through these accounts, and So yeah, accounting. I'm glad that he didn't really have to talk me out of it. It was just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A brief thought, but yeah, would not have been for me. Let's see. Good morning, Steve Ains Comedy. What's happening? Zach says, I'm so glad you associate our collection with junk. It is liberating. Let's see. I don't think I said junk, did I? I don't think I said junk. Maybe I did. Ed says, I'm in for 1210. Yes, Ed is with us. Ripapalooza, or whatever we decide on calling it. Herman, what's happening? Jenny says, I vote we have the main man Porter decide the name. There you go. Ripathon. I think was that my first Royal Ripping Rumble? I like it. I think Ripathon, was that the first name I gave it? That might have been. Ken says, I may need until December 10th to find mine. Waxamania. Oh, that's a good one too. Let's see, where are we at? Paige and Deanie Bean says, good morning. We are late because Dean was getting dressed for school Halloween. Oh, nice. That was always fun. He's a hybrid WWE superstar Riddle, Riddle t-shirt, Sasha Banks glasses, and an NXT belt. That's awesome. So school Halloween was awesome because you dress up, you're a little kid, you dress up in your costume, and you parade through the school. Now, I went to a small school. How small was it? So our school was so small, we had one hallway that was 2 blocks long. One hallway, and you had to take a couple turns. And we would parade through our grade school was on the far west end of the building. We would parade through the grade school portion, and then we would, I think, snake back through. I think we would start at so we had our grade school office. So we would start there, and then we would go west down through the grade school, which I think it was all grade schoolers anyway, so maybe we didn't. But anyway, we'd snake through the 5th grade classroom, which was on the far wall on the west side, and we would cut through the 5th grade classrooms to the junior high. and the junior high was on the south portion of the west end of the building at Anawan. Shout out, go Braves. And then we would go through the junior high and then through the media center. And I think we would snake through the media center, which was the library and the computer lab, where we had like 6. At this point, we probably had those IBMs. Maybe the Apple IIs were still there. I'm not sure. We'd snake through, and then we'd go to the other big hallway, and that went past the art room, the first grade classroom, and then into the high school. And then we had one main hallway in the high school, and then at the gym, you have to go around the gym to the other big hallway down to the ag room. So that was our school Halloween. I was Jason Voorhees. Herman will like this. I was Jason Voorhees like 3 years in a row because I loved Friday the... I was probably on some list. I bet I was on some list at Anawan grade school. This kid has been Jason Voorhees for 3 straight Halloweens. I think he might be a future serial killer. So I was Jason Voorhees like 3 years in a row in like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, or maybe even 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. I can't remember. But I was Jason Voorhees, hockey mask, blood, old flannel, all that crap. Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean, 1st annual Rip and Dip. That's what we're doing. You can come on, you can rip and dip. That might be a winner. John says, please don't encourage the pocket protector crowd like Cooter. Mark Hoyle, what's happening? Ken says, looking at something on eBay and just learned that you can still use a reserve. Eye roll. I didn't realize that was, essentially a reserve. You can just, and here's the stupid thing about a reserve for sellers using a reserve. If you're using a reserve, don't just start your bid price at the lowest price you'll take. If you have a card that you don't want to sell for less than $100, run it at auction with a starting bid of $100, and it doesn't cost any more. A reserve will, because I'm sure that they tack on an extra price on the reserve. Speaking of eBay real quick, I went shopping last night. Not for what you would think. So I've decided, and this is actually fun. This is the part of, because I come on here and I talk about, I found a $20 Aaron Judge rookie card in my Goodwill Pallet. I talk a lot about my business of selling cards, but this is like my hobby, Cubs. So, and I get jealous of people that have like collections that are like, there's a purpose. So like, well, and it can be like, the purpose can really be anything, but there's just like there's a reason for the collection. So like my Cubs collection, like the purpose is getting 1 million, but it's kind of like, well, that's kind of all over the place. But I have like mini PCs within my Cubs collection of like, okay, I'm not going to buy a Chris Bryant autograph, but I'll buy a Javi Baez autograph if it's the right price. So, and I've shared the story of Ethan Roberts. So he has a rookie card in Topps Update, which releases, I think, today. So I'm like, you know what? There's going to be parallels for Ethan Roberts in Topps Update. So I want to get the Ethan Roberts cards. So I went shopping and I found like 5 or 6 player breaks of Ethan Roberts, like 2 cases. So I think I'm up to like, 20 case breaks of Topps Update where I've put bids in for Ethan Roberts. Now, I won't share the number I put in, but I shared a number, and it's like I could buy some nice pre-war cards for a relief pitcher who I think he only appeared in a few games at the beginning of the season. He's battling back from injury, so he had surgery, and he's bouncing back from that. So, but I have like a personal connection, so I want to start a collection because of the personal connection. So, and it's like, that's fun. Like, it's not often where I don't pay attention to the dollars in cards, because baseball cards for me is mostly a business. Like, yes, I buy Cubs cards and that's for my hobby, my collection. But a lot of times it's just kind of overshadowed by, okay, well, if I buy these, I have to go find other deals in seller. Like if I'm digging through a dollar box, it's like I'm pulling Cubs out, but I'm paying for the Cubs with the future gains of the other dollar cards. So this is like pure hobby shopping for Ethan Roberts and case breaks, and like have it like being like an Ethan Roberts super collector. And it's not like there's probably not going to be a lot of competition for that. So hopefully. So here we are. So that was my eBay aside. Victor says, I agree. Yes, I agree. I went to community college, then to UIC, finished at DePaul. Victor says he was a slacker. And I was. That was the main reason why I went to community. It wasn't like when I was young, I didn't realize how much money college cost. And I'm like, I thought my parents had a money tree buried somewhere, or it's like I thought they had a never ending stream of cash. I was pretty poor. So now I realize and respect those paths, because and there is the college experience, like, and I get it, and there's no wrong way to do it, because you do miss out. If you go to community college, you miss out on that like freshman experience, and by the time you go 2 years at a community college, a junior college, you go to a 4-year, you've kind of missed establishing those relationships where my wife's like best friends, like lifelong best friends, were her like freshmen, like her maid of honor in our wedding. They were freshman roommates at Indiana, and like a lot of those strong ties, friendships, because that's really like in life, like it's such a big step. I mean, you're moving away, you're moving out of home for the first time. You're living with a random stranger in many cases, and they become either your best friend for life, or you want to murder them and never talk to them again. So the main reason I went to community college was because I was a slacker, and I was super immature. Like even into my mid-20s, I was super immature, and I didn't finish. And I've said this before. I went to community college. I finished my associate's degree and then got a job in radio, and just like, this is my path. And I have zero regrets, because if I would have gone to college, if I would have continued my college education at age 20 or whatever age I was, it would have been a disaster, because I still didn't take it seriously. I would have gone into broadcasting. It would have been, for me, a wasted degree. It would have not been good, because I was just super immature. But when I went back at age like 28, I was much more mature and could handle the responsibility of actually being a college student. And I think, there's many people out there that can handle that at age 18, 19, and 20. And there's some like me that, you might have to wait till you're almost 30 before you can handle the pressures of homework and college life, and being able to pick and choose the right times to party. Because when I was 20, every night was a party. When I was 28, 29, 30, not every night was a party. So I was able to balance the life, the responsible life, and the party life. Jenny says, Ken, when I see reserves, I always know that's a new seller. They will learn in time. No one bid on reserve auctions. Matt Marg, what's happening? So for those, I skipped that. Where's Matt Marg's comment? Matt Marg says, so for those of us who have been using eBay standard envelopes, the scans at the sort facilities can be hit or miss. Have you had days where your entire orders received no origin or in transit? Probably. I don't even look at my tracking. To be honest with you, I don't even look. The only time I really look is if I have cases open where it's like, hey, I didn't receive this item, or somebody messaged, hey, this has been stuck in Milwaukee for 2 weeks. That's the only time I really look, is if somebody brings it to my attention. So I'm sure it happens. It's basically, bottom line, I say, is if you're a seller, don't even look at it unless somebody brings it to your attention. Don't even worry about the tracking. And really, for any standard envelope or regular bubble mailer, it's not worth the worry. Zach says, Bo not getting a degree when starting in radio because why? I already have a job I'm in is 90% of the industry, why they get stuck there. Thankfully, I was 10% before I started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pepino Man, what is up? Good morning to you. Couch People Christmas party. Ooh, Jenny, I like that. I like that. Steve drops a few. Ripomania, Ripomaniac, Rip Roar and Rumble, the Rip Revolution, Ripageddon. Ooh, Ripageddon has a good ring to it. Man, I like Couch People Christmas party. We can wear our ugly Christmas sweaters. You know how I'll have Hallmark on the background. The Christmas tree will be up, although I'll be downstairs. The Christmas tree's upstairs. Oh, man, I like Couch People Christmas party. Dan, what's happening? Hope you're feeling okay, Dan. John says, I'm 14 credits shy from my associates. I'm slow going, so I can milk one more spring break in Daytona. You're all invited to my graduation party next year. Spring break I've got some spring break in Daytona stories. And I think I could actually probably, I was only, because I was at my community college when I went, because I think I was a might have been a sophomore. I was either a first or second year in college, freshman or sophomore, when we did spring break. And so the thing was, we had so much fun. All gassy. We're going to do this every year, man. And guess what? We did it once. That's what happened. So enjoy it when you have it. Spring break, Daytona Beach. We weren't even 21. So you had to get creative on how to acquire the alcohol. I can say that because I don't have a demographic that's under 21. Dan says, I'm wondering, I grew up with the term grade school out here in New York. They call it elementary school. What do they call it by you for everyone in the chat? That's a good question because that does vary. So I love Boy Meets World, and I love the podcast Pod Meets World with Will Friedle, Ryder Strong, Danielle Fishel, Topanga, Eric, and Sean. The characters from Boy Meets World. They were actually just talking about this on a recent podcast. So where I grew up, it was, I think we called it grade school. Grade school was basically like grades. Essentially, it was like kindergarten through 5th grade was grade school. So like, and I think it was kindergarten was lumped in because we had kindergarten, like everything was under the same, like literally. Now, when I was in preschool, we were in literally a farmhouse, Mrs. Newman's farm. But then they moved the preschool, like the school district ended up having a preschool. Like, I don't think we had like a legit preschool when I went to preschool. It was just like, hey, we need a preschool. I'm going to start it at my farm. So we went to Mrs. Newman's house for preschool. And then I think later on, the preschool went into the actual, it was on the high school side. So like now today, and even when I was in grade school and junior high, we had preschool through high school under one roof. It was a really long 2-block long school. Well, long for Anawan, Illinois. But preschool through high school was all under one roof. So preschool was like preschool, and then kindergarten through 5th grade was like the grade school. Like the grade school yearbook had kindergarten through 5th grade. And actually, I think it probably had junior high also, because the junior high was just on the other side. Like they were just connected. There were just a wall between the grade school and the junior high. So junior high we didn't call it like middle school or because I think some called junior high middle school. We did not call it middle school. We called it junior high. It was just Anawan grade school, which I think encompassed junior high. Like the grade school principal at Anawan also handles the junior high. So junior, but we called it junior high, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then high school, of course, 9th through 12th grade. So there was a high school principal. There was a grade school principal. Let's see. Jenny says, you're awesome, John, for going back. I agree that it's never too late to go back to school. Zach and Porter said Packapalooza. He also said couch potato Christmas party. Porter's a little nervous and anxious today. Braces coming off. Very nervous. That's a big day, but it will be okay. And it'll be awesome when those things come off. That's awesome. So I like Packapalooza. Porter has great ideas. Packapalooza is great, and he's going with the couch potato Christmas party as well. That could be the winner. I'm like sold on couch potato Christmas party. And if Porter's sold, I'm sold. Randy says, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you net from doing cards full time in year one? I'm not going to share those numbers, but it came in. If I would compare it to my previous job with benefits included, I came a little shy of what I made working my previous job. So I worked twice the amount of hours, but I had 100 times the amount of fun because I had zero fun in my previous job. We had some my boss would take us to some Badger games, and we had pizza parties and some of the happy hours. There were a few fun times, but the day by day was not fun. So I think year two I will, I'll exceed what I made at my previous job. And that's including that includes benefits, how much I have to pay for insurance out of pocket now. Against, I didn't pay a dime. I had a great benefits package at my previous job. So, that was significant, that was a significant amount. That was kind of the one reason that it took me a little longer to actually pull the trigger, because I was ready like 2 years ago, 2 years prior to starting, but it was just crunching the numbers. And 2 years prior, pre-COVID, my volume wasn't there, but being stuck at home for so long gave me the ability to list a lot of cards on eBay, coupled with the boom spurred those sales. So I did a good amount. I did a decent amount. Victor says grade school. Mark says 3 classes short of my bachelor's degree. Once my baseball eligibility ran out, I left. Zach says, dang, I missed if you answered my time question on the 10th. Day or evening, I may have a Christmas party during the day. So you're in luck, because it's probably going to be day and night. So I don't know when I'm going to start, but I might start as early as like 3 or 4. I'll probably start at 4. I'll probably start at 4 p.m., but I'll probably roll until like 9. So it's probably going to be 5 hours. So probably 4 o'clock, depending on what else. I guess it also depends on how much product I accumulate during the month of November with like Black Friday deals, because if I find a lot of good deals on Blowout and Dave and Adams and Steel City, I might have even more stuff to rip. So I have plenty right now, but I could add a significant amount. And I think Heritage Miners releases, it might be the week after. Now that I think about it, Heritage Miners, which I think I'm only going to do 1 case of Heritage Miners. I'm still sitting on a jumbo case of Pro Debut, which I may, once I get through this Goodwill pallet, I may rip a couple boxes, but I'm going to definitely leave 1 or 2 of those for Rip-a-Palooza or Couch Potato Christmas. I like Couch Potato Christmas. Heritage Miners 2022. Let's see, releases. And it's such an awesome product. Oh man, it's December 14th for Heritage Miners. Heritage Miners, I love the product. You get, I think, 2 autos per box, $55 on Blowout. They might even be on sale. It's a pre-order, so they probably won't go on sale at Christmas time or thanks Black Friday. But $55 a box for a hobby box, 2 autos, fun product to rip. It's an awesome product to rip. And it has great resale for singles. Let's see. So where are we at in the chat? Jenny says, Zach, I haven't heard a time yet. I think he was sounding like it would be an evening thing. The Packademic, I think it should be evening. We can all get Casey's pizza. I was thinking that. My issue is, I guess I could pay like Uber Eats or something, but my problem here with Casey's Pizza is the one that's close by that would be like a legit option for like delivery. If I could get Uber Eats, they like never have pizza. Every time I've gone to order, it's like, oh, we we're not making pizza tonight. So it might be like a Rosati's delivery pizza for me. Or Jets. One of my friends, we were messaging, and he's like, I ate like a whole Jets pizza last night. And he just discovered, I discovered it like a few years ago. It's a chain, Jets Pizza. It's all over. Like, I looked at their locations. They stretch from like Arizona up to Wisconsin, over to New York, and down to Florida. It's like a nationwide chain. Their pizza is flipping awesome. Jets Pizza. But again, take that with a grain of salt. One of my favorite pizzas is from a gas station. So take my pizza judging for what it's worth. But Jets Pizza, awesome pizza. So maybe Jets, because I think they deliver. Casey's for me probably out of the question, which is a bummer, but it's my nearest location, just never makes it. So, and the second closest location to me is like a half an hour away, and the delivery price is probably twice as much as the actual pizza. John says, Mark, they may need a third base coach. Let's see. Herman's going to try to grab a box for $12.10. Jenny says, Topps update is all over eBay already. I did see that. That's what, like, I looked something up on eBay, and it's like, ooh, Topps update. So then I started searching. I haven't seen any Ethan Roberts cards listed, and I've been like every 3 hours I look. I woke up in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., which I had a ton of sales overnight. And it goes in like stretches where I'll wake up and I'll have like 70 sales from like 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. And that was last night was one of those nights where the last few nights has been kind of slow, but fast night. So Ethan Roberts, 100. Ooh, there's a new one. Because when I checked about 2 hours ago, when I woke up, there was 182 listings. Now there's 183, but it's not showing up what the latest is. So I'm bidding on, let's see, how many cases have I bid on? One. So that's 2 jumbo cases and 3 hobby boxes. So let's go by, so 15 boxes, 18 boxes, so 33 boxes. Plus 24, 33, and 24 is what? 44, 54, 58. 58 plus 12 is 70. Over 100 boxes. So I'm bidding on over 100 boxes for Ethan Roberts and player breaks on eBay. Let's see. Rich is with us. What's up, Uncle Rich? Good morning to you. He's pressing folks to hit the like button. Wow, we've gone from 5 to 13. Thank you, Rich. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm only like 15 subs away from 2,000. My goal for 2022 was 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And now here I am closing in on November at nearly 2,000. So that's awesome. Steve says, I dressed as Evel Knievel during a Pacer game costume parade at Old Market Square Arena when I was a kid. That's awesome. We had, and I don't know if I've shared this, I may have shared this story because of my trip to the antique mall with my mom a few weeks ago. We had, so with my IGA that's sadly closing, our local grocery store, and again, my hometown was population 800. So, and we had a small town grocery store, the IGA, and next to the IGA, it was connected to the IGA, was a Ben Franklin craft store. Of course, you could get cards, baseball cards, and all kinds of stuff. So our Ben Franklin had it was kind of a junky store. It was a lot of stuff. I wish I could go back because it was like a time machine. Like, you walk into Ben Franklin in 1992, and it was like walking back into 1977. Like, it was I don't think they replenished. They never had new stock. It was just whatever they had in 1977 that didn't sell. They just kept it in the store. I think it was like a pet project, like in retirement. I think it was the IGA owner's wife ran it. And so she was like content with having the 1977 inventory. So I'd like to go, because I mean, there were like Converse All-Stars from like legit the 70s. There were like old Anawan like shirts. I had one. It was like for PE. It's like, it was almost like we would get it for like just a joke, like, oh, look at this old t-shirt. Now I wish I had those. But they had like those cheap late 70s, early 80s plastic masks. They had Welcome Back Cotter. And so there was, so me and my friend Luke, we would buy, and they were like, I don't know, $2. So we would go with our allowance money and we would buy these cheap plastic Welcome Back Cotter masks. So there was a Welcome Back Cotter when I went to the antique mall with my mom a few weeks ago when I was back home. There was a Welcome Back Cotter mask. And then there was also like a Big Bird, because I was Big Bird when I was like 4 years old. And my cousin Michelle, because I texted her, I'm like, oh my God, there's a Big Bird mask. And I couldn't remember what she was. She remembered. She was Strawberry Shortcake, I think was the cartoon or whatever back then in the 80s. So it's like, I almost bought it just for the nostalgia. And it's like, really? Why? I have the memories. The memories are good enough. But Welcome Back Cotter. So I think I was, and by the time we were like buying those Welcome Back Cotter, I think we were probably in like 5th or 6th grade. Like we were a little older. And I think I wore like, but I don't think by like 5th grade, I don't think we were like parading around the school. I think that was like maybe 3rd or 4th grade they stopped doing that. Definitely we weren't doing that in junior high. So maybe junior high we were wearing our Welcome Back Cotter masks just as a joke. Mark says, I've got a box of Fun Foods pins. I'm in unless I roped into a Christmas party. Well, this is the Couch Potato Christmas party. Let's see. Zach says, what I love about Bo is his business side is very strategic and stealth. Blue ocean, lower end dominance. And his collection is as disorganized as one could be. Opposites attract. Right. That's a very good point. Let's see. And I thought about, like yesterday, it's like, I wish I had some sort of Cubs focus, but my Cubs collection now is so vast that I don't even know what I need. Like I'll see people, like there's some awesome tobacco Facebook groups, and somebody there were some really good posts yesterday of sales, like some T205s for like $40. And I know I need like 3. And then there were like 3 other Cubs that it's like, oh, I don't know if I have those. Now I did know I had 2 because I just submitted 2 for grading. I submitted 2 to SGC last weekend. Thomas Needham and I think Ed Ruhlbach was the other one, but I did submit 2 more T205s, and I think I submitted 2 in my last. No, just 1. It was Joe Tinker in my, because I only submitted 5 cards, so it was Joe Tinker in the first one, and then Ruhlbach I think, and Needham or maybe Archer, I can't remember. Let's see. Rich says, we have a really good community college 5 minutes from where I live, and I recommend it heartily to a ton of people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Steve says, serial killer and baseball card collector, aren't they the same thing? They could be. Pepino Man says, what does Pepino Man say? Where are we at? Where's Pepino Man's comment? Where's Pepito Man? Wow, there's a lot. I'm way behind on the chat. So if I'm talking about something that you don't remember, it's because the chats, I'm so backed up on the chat. Pepino says, I worked at a college and they paid for my daughter's 4 years at the University of LA. That's the way to go. And kind of piggybacking on that, that's what saved me a ton of tuition, because I worked in radio, and so a position opened up at the university. So my tuition was, it was basically a full ride scholarship when I went back to school, because I was employed by the university. So they're like, we'll give you free tuition on top of, your limited pay, because college athletics does not pay well. So that helped monetarily. John says, I always told my kids their best bonds will be forged in college. There's no better feeling than 2 uneducated parents seeing their kids succeed in higher education. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Cooter says, COVID restrictions ruined the college experience for a lot of kids. Unfortunately, yes, it did. It ruined, I mean, can you imagine like your formative years of like childhood development, and when you're like stuck at home for 2 years, was it probably 2 years, maybe even close to 3 years of those childhood development years? Like we're going to have a micro generation of COVID kids that are going to have like limited social skills because of the whole limited interaction during the pandemic. Let's see. Matt says the eBay standard envelope uses the USPS visibility barcode. Rich says, by the way, what in the heck is going on in Wisconsin? One of the political newsletters I subscribe to mentioned this story this morning. You need to get them to sign at your next show. NIL. Ooh, Rolling Stone. What is going? Oh, Wisconsin. I knew exactly as soon as I saw Wisconsin volleyball. Yeah. And coming off that, they knocked off number one. Wisconsin has like a top ranked nationally year. Wisconsin volleyball is kind of like they're a blue blood in volleyball, kind of like a Duke or a Kentucky, North Carolina in basketball. Wisconsin is that in volleyball. So yeah, some nudes were leaked of the some of the volleyball players, and they also just knocked off, like coming off that, they knocked off the number one ranked team in the country, Nebraska. Big Ten volleyball is like the top legit volleyball in the country. It's like Big Ten volleyball is like SEC football. Victor says, and like they sell out like volleyball games. Like it's hard to get a ticket. You can get football tickets to Badger football and Badger men's basketball. You can get those easy, but volleyball tickets and hockey tickets are hard to come by. Let's see. Matt says they get scanned. Let's see. Victor says Cooter, it ruined my son's high school experience. They get scanned while passing through sorting. It's also attached to the GPS of the mail truck. You'll notice the truck is nearby and you might get a delivered notification. It's the GPS saying the card should have been delivered. When you get that spam mail, check the little barcode on the front. That's the visibility tracking code. Pepino Man adds in Friday the 15th. I like it. That's a good one. Friday the 15th. Christian, 3 degrees, but work in a field not related to any of them. That's kind of par for the course. I think many people are probably like that. I think for me, like eventually my degree, like had I gone straight through, I would have got a broadcasting degree, which the only thing I would have been using it for is talking on YouTube. And we know how that goes sometimes. But my marketing degree did pay off. Let's see. Matt says they don't scan each eBay package, though it's all done internally. John says my kids lost a college graduation, a high school graduation, and a freshman year wiped out. They seem to be doing okay. Jenny says, Matt, I'm curious into this insight. Are you a USPS employee? I was told the barcode scans through the machine when it runs through. My cards scanned, delivered to the metro area, then arrived the next day. And that's what I'm seeing a lot, where it's scanned and then the next day it shows up. From what I know, they're scanned at sorting facilities, and then there's no scan the rest of the way. So that's why if you're 2 hours away from a sorting facility and it's scanned delivered, that's why it shows up the next day. John says, Pepino Man wins. There is no college in the world that can replace my tour bus years. I can only imagine. Kin, hello Topanga. Absolutely. Zach says they call it primary at Porter School, but we call it elementary school. Terry used both terms. Jenny says, I just call it, can we please get a snow day and not have to go? Speaking of traditions that have been wiped away from us in modern society, remember waking up in the morning, it snowed a lot the night before, and you waking up and turning on the radio or the TV and like waiting to hear the school coming up. We've got school cancellations on all hit country. Actually, that's like a top 40 voice. Coming up, we've got school cancellations on K100. That's my over-the-top radio voice. And it's like, and then you're waiting because it's like in alphabetical order, and it's like, and Anawan schools, and then there's that dramatic pause, are canceled today. No school. Oh, that was the best. Now it's like you just log online and it's like, oh, we don't have school. I'm going to bed. There's nothing better than that dramatic pause on the radio or waiting for that scroll at the bottom of the TV. Oh, nothing better than it. Kids today missing out. Let's see. Jenny says, oh, wait, where are we at? John says, if you don't mind sharing, are you a shower or a grower? A shower or a grower? Jenny says, first 5 years of business, you won't make money. You'll just work and work some more, and then you'll start seeing it explode all of a sudden. Also, in sports cards, you make the most money when you sell off your business because you have all your money into your inventory. And that's why I try to be strategic with what I choose to buy and sell. It's like, okay, there's a lot more money going out right now in buying two cases of Pro Debut, buying a Goodwill pallet, buying 16 monster boxes. So there's a lot of so it's not only that a lot of money's going out, I have a lot of backed up inventory that I need to get list and start over, which this is like the worst timing of having that backlog, because we're coming up on November and there's some awesome wax. Usually there's some awesome wax deals during the month of November. Bruce says, we had 1st through 7th elementary, then off to high school in a rural setting. Zach says, how is Keating able to host Hobby Hotline without a degree? Some Aunt Becky type scandal there for sure. John said, I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. That's how. Next semester is a class on not falling for $30 eBay shipping. I'll be taking lots of notes. Jenny says, thanks for the laugh. Rich says, we have Jets Pizza here in Plano. I love Jets Pizza. Matt says, he said gas station pizza. We are from New York, are hurt. Hey, there's nothing better than a Casey's gas station taco pizza. Rich says, I don't like them because the only slices they sell are cheese and pepperoni. Really? So we have sausage. We have sausage as an option at our local one here in Middleton, Wisconsin. Let's see. Rich says, I want slices with what I want on them. I'm a New York pizza snob. And maybe a slob too. Rich is a New York pizza snob. Ed says you could have the pizza guy ring the bell in the middle of breaking. That would probably happen. Let's see. Matt says, have you sent out any 10% off past customer coupons to see if you get a bump? I did about a month ago. I haven't lately. I'm trying to catch up on like all of the stuff I have. So I'm trying to get a lot listed. But I did a 50% off coupon and saw a huge bump. And it wasn't my fear was offering a 50% coupon and people would see, oh, here's $100 card I want. And so that was my fear, like selling at a steep discount some like prime cards. That wasn't the case at all. Most of the cards that sold were like kind of stale inventory or like $1.50 cards. And it's like, hell yeah, I'll sell these all day for 75 cents each. So that's what I saw about a month ago when I did my last 50% off sale. I will do another one, and I'll probably ramp up my sales here as we close out the year, because I definitely want to do like a Black Friday deal. But I also want to do another like kind of a sneaky sale where it just kind of pops up. So that's the plan. Let's see. Matt says, I would do that for the World Series going. Last big push for baseball. Terry says, our Rosati's just closed after being open for just a couple of years. We also have a Jets Good Pizzas. Yeah, those are my two favorites here in Madison. I like Jets because it's you can just go get it by the slice or you can order it. Rosati's is great. They have a great deep dish. So yeah, I'm a big fan of both. Tracy, what's up? Good morning to you. Jenny says, if anyone likes Tombstone Pizza and is going to have it at Couch People Christmas Party, you should look for a box of Tombstone Pizza baseball cards to rip. There you go. Do they have those anymore? I know back in the 90s they did. I grew up on Tombstone Pizza, but I also like if frozen pizza, one of my go-tos for frozen pizza is Jack's Rising Crust. And I just picked up when I went to the grocery store the other day, I picked one up. My issue, though, at least with my local freezer aisle at Pick and Save, which I've talked incessantly about how I don't like the Pick and Save, but I choose to go there every time. They don't have any like I want Rising Crust sausage pizza, and for Rising Crust at Pick and Save, it's either cheese or pepperoni, and I don't like pepperoni. And then I think they have a Jack's Supreme, and there's pepperoni on it. I don't want pepperoni. So a couple times I have gone to like Hy-Vee, which is a little out of, well, it's like 10 minutes further to get just a regular sausage Rising Crust. Clark says, how many subs do you need to get a plaque from YouTube? Do they have those? I don't know. If they have those, that would be fun. Pepino Man says, my goal for subscribers was 200. When I first got on YouTube, only a handful of guys had 1,000 subscribers. 1K views was a viral video back then for card collectors. And look how much it's changed. That's crazy how much has changed in that time. John says, I think I bought condoms at that Ben Franklin from 1977. Herman says, Bo trying to corner markets. Ethan Roberts reminds me of a Different Strokes episode where Mr. Drumming and Arnold tried buying up all the Tommy Lasorda cards. That's awesome. Hey, speaking of 80s sitcoms, I was looking for something to watch. I was watching the movie Christine last night, and it's like I want to watch something like not horror. So I went to, I think, HBO Max. And I was going through like their sitcoms, and they had Head of the Class. Remember Head of the Class? It was mid to late 80s sitcom starring Howard Hessman, who was Johnny Fever from WKRP. Much different role as Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore? So I watched a couple episodes. My wife came home and she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen this in 30 years. So Head of the Class. I was watching a couple episodes last night. Where are we at in the chat? Jaden, are we at Jaden? Jaden says there's still a Ben Franklin in Bowling Green, Ohio. And believe it or not, they still sell old 90s wax packs. It's probably like the Ben Franklin. That's what they do. They just keep their inventory forever. They never throw anything away. They never sell it at discount. They just keep selling it at the price like my Ben Franklin did. Inventory never changed from 1977. Cooter says there's nothing worse than the 70s plastic Halloween masks filled with sweat and steam from your breath. Jenny says, Herman, it reminds me of when Javier Baez came out in the living set. Yes. I bought 9 copies. So don't live with regrets, but I have 2 regrets in my Cubs collecting, and they both surround Javi Baez. When Topps Living was like still popular, for some reason I bought 9. I was just like buying everything online at Topps, and I was just spending money foolishly. And I bought 9 copies of the Javier Baez living set card. Why? Well, and so you ask, why 9? That's a strange number. Well, because it fills a 9 pocket page. That's why I bought 9 of them. And then the second regret was I bought a Javi Baez artist proof from Project whatever, 2020 or 71 or whatever projects they were running. So I bought an artist proof, which was like $170. What the hell was I thinking? Like I could have bought a really nice tobacco card with that. And it's like, I see that still in one of those boxes over there. It's like, I paid $170 for this freaking card, this stupid ass artist proof card. Anyway, Andrew says, can you send me the Different Strokes DVD with that episode, Herman? Lasorda cards included. Rich is going to listen to the rest later. Got to get ready for the day and take the doggy daughter in this rain. I'm jealous of Jenny's weather for her yearly shots. Victor, the rookie card specialist. What's up, Victor? Did anyone notice the new format for eBay's revised listing tab? Like or dislike? I have not seen that. I did notice. What did I notice? Oh, I noticed on my app, on my eBay app, when I go to look at my feedback, it's like it's the public version. It's like I'm not logged into my account. So it brings up like my sports cards by Bo, like this is how many followers, your feedback, and how many items you've sold. And then I click on feedback, and it's like, it looks like I'm just looking at a random seller's information. So, and it doesn't show, it doesn't show like who actually left the comment. I have to go on my desktop version to see that. But it also doesn't show me my total feedback number, which I mean, I can access on if I just go to my overview on eBay, it shows like, there's your number. But I used to be able to access that from my app. But I have not seen the revised listing change. Matt says, correct the truck and GPS, try to be as accurate as possible. Terry says, I just had a standard envelope returned for a bad address. The tracking shows that it was delivered. Matt says, without scanning each envelope, it's almost impossible to be exact timing. Dan says, school closings. Let's see. Matt says, so they bind together the package with the truck that will deliver it. Sometimes different trucks, USPS workers are called in to help out. You'll notice package is not scanned for days. They didn't get lost. They're in another truck being delivered. Let's see. You can pay for the tracing for like 15 cents on another site. Letter Pro Tracker. Interesting. Email needed. Emails are sent as packages scanned throughout the USPS facilities. Tracy says, I had a card through eBay sent back. Standard envelope, shows delivered, and buyer left positive feedback saying the card looks great. Interesting. And here's what I bet happened, because this happens. This is a very common occurrence for me. People only go by their, so say you log into your eBay app and say, let's see, you go into your, my eBay purchases. So some people only rely on what eBay tells them. You'd be surprised how many people do that. So like my 1935 Gaudi says like everything says delivered, because most everything I buy is shipped with tracking that shows delivered. So everything. So I have an Ishmael Mena Bowman Platinum that I bought in March that shows shipped. Doesn't say delivered. So many people that I found, and it's not like it happens every day, but it's not uncommon, where somebody sees that and they're like, it's not delivered. I didn't get it. And this one says shipped on my screen, and I got it. I know I got it. It took a while, but I did get it because I wanted it before spring training. And it was waiting for me after I got back. But they'll say shipped, I never received. So they'll send me a message like, or open a item not received case, and I never got it. And so in those cases, and sometimes in the cases that happens with me, like I said, I don't update. Like if somebody buys like 3, and this actually just happened to me this week, where they bought like 3 or 4 different cards on 2 transactions. So 2 of the cards went in the same envelope that tracking, and it shows delivered and positive feedback left. But they opened up a not received case on the other 2 cards that were in the same package. That I know for a fact they were in the same package, because it was just last week. And because they just go by, and so this person's like hasn't responded, but I just uploaded tracking like, hey, it was included in the other package that you left positive feedback for, and shows delivered. And so I'll have people like, hey, I never got this card. And I'll say it was shipped with this other card on this transaction. And then usually they come back, oh, yep, my bad. And so they're only looking because there was no tracking updated. So it just says shipped and it doesn't say delivered. So they assume they never got it, which is not the case. So I'm sure, Tracy, that's what happened. It shows delivered. And they just assume they received it. And they left their generic feedback. Card looks great because that's what they leave for all positive feedback. So I'm sure that's what happened. They just see it says delivered in their account, so they assume they got it, and boom, there you go. So it does go both ways. Let's see. John says, Terry says, my best friend worked in Quad City Radio for a few years. He got fired from an easy listening station because of the used a rock voice, and the old people kept complaining. That is a thing. That is definitely a thing in radio. You have to have a certain voice. Let's see, John, for different formats. John says, who is the sadist that developed the thinnest possible elastic to hold those plastic masks on, right? How did that not cause permanent damage? Most of them were like just rubber band. The ones that I grew up with were like rubber bands. Let's see. Brian says, Kay, I'm late. Did we figure out, is it Ripathon or Ripapalooza? So we've been taking call-ins. We've been taking suggestions. The one I like the most is Couch Potato Christmas Party. Let's see, where are we at? I skipped too far ahead. Let's see. So Brian's here. Jenny says, I'm going for Couch People Christmas Party. I need votes. I think I'm going to vote for that one. David says, good morning. This pizza and cards discussion got me thinking about the Tony's pizzas with Fleer NBA cards back in the day. We went through probably 20 plus and never got the Shack. That's a bummer. I think I just sold Tony's pizza card. The Fleer from 91-92. Was that the year 91-92 or 92-93? I think because I think they start with S. I think I just sold a Charles Barkley card. Let's see. Terry says, I remember going into Ben Franklin in the 70s. Even then, it felt like going into a time capsule. They probably still had items from the 50s. Brian says, take the loss on artist proof and get that tobacco card. Be happier every time you see it. Happiness worth the loss. I'm not going to sell it because it's part of my Javi Baez collection. But it's probably like, I'd rather keep for probably the price that I could sell it for. I would rather just keep it. I would probably just go back and buy it. It's just, you just eat the loss. Let's see. Let's look at Javier Baez artist proof. And I don't even know what it was. Let's see. Undefeated. I don't think that was the one. Ooh, one's on here. One's on eBay for 300. Let's see if there's any sold. If it's 300, I'd be like, yeah, I'll sell it. I'll sell it for profit. Let's see. None have sold. And I think the only one listed when I do a search, 77 results, but a lot of them are like Diamond Kings, Don Russ, Project 70, undefeated, card 828, artist proof. It's listed for 300. Nobody's going to pay that. Here's the one I have. It's the El Mago Soulfly. This one is $229 plus shipping or best offer. So like $235 or best offer, which I think I paid $170. But again, nobody's even going to pay $170 for it. So, but at least they're not listed for like $20. Like that's what I thought. Like, oh, this is probably only worth $20. So at least I'm a little happier now that I've looked. I've never looked. I just assumed they were $20. Let's see. Jenny says, let's see. Bo had a first for a standard envelope return this week. Be safe after buying. I did. I had a deceased. Somebody died while my card was in transit to them. Scott, what's up? Scott Nelson is in the house. My guy. Looking for any Javi Baez living set cards. I have 9 of them. Let's see. Luke Scott cards. Happy Friday. It's a good one. My birthday, and I'm heading to get an Egg McMuffin. Happy birthday. Let's see. Zach and Porter says, at Scott, I don't know if that is real or not, but I love it. I believe that is the card he bought way too many of. Scott says, how about Ron Santo's Pros Pizza cards? Now that I would like. I would like a Pros Pizza Ron Santo card. I do not have one of those. Let's see. John says Tony's pizza cards have no numbers, I believe. Maybe it was a different, the one I sold was, I thought it was Tony's Pizza, but I could be mistaken. It was I'm sure it was a Barkley because I think it just sold yesterday. And it was because it's in the same design as the 91-92 Fleer. Let's see. Oh, it's just listed as 91 Fleer S15. Let's see. Let's do an eBay search. 91 Fleer S15. Because they begin with S. So whatever that is. It is Tony's Pizza. At least somebody listed it as Tony's Pizza. Let's see. Somebody has one listed. Somebody has a 1990-91 Fleer Charles Barkley S15 listed for $720. Somebody got a deal on my $1.50 card. Let's see. Here's one for $5. There's one for $1.39 plus 78 cents shipping. So they're all over the place. Those are listed prices, not sold prices. Brian says, oh, Couch People Christmas Party, CPCP. Not too shabby. I like Couch People Christmas Party. Scott says, if you eat the Javi Baez card, it may taste just like a Pros Pizza. Is Pros Pizza still around? Let's see. Paige and Dini. By the way, Scott Nelson, who is in this chat, my good friend who has an amazing, I did an episode about his amazing basement and all the awesome stuff he has. We need, now that things are starting to slow down, it's getting to be winter. Scott, we need to help you get organized because I want to see some of your files. That's what I don't care about the baseball cards. I want to see some of the Cubs files, some of that stuff, some of the truly unique items. Let's see. Paige and Didi Bean says, I for sure thought Rip and Dip was a winner. I would say Rip and Dip could be a finalist. What was the other one I liked? What was the one Porter suggested something that I liked, and then he said he also liked Couch People Christmas Party. I like those. Zach says, watching chat as I catch up. How about ripping wax while the sex bots attack? Let's see. Brian says a ghost ordered wax beyond the grave. John's kids dealing with Papa on a daily basis prepared them to look at a pandemic like whatever, we can deal. I say this because Porter has had to deal with me. Matt says, I remember the sippy peanut butter. Oh, the peanut butter cards. Were those like in the lids? They were circular. The Derek Jeter Skippy. Yes. Let's see. John says 2 through 93 have numbers. My bad. Let's see. Scott says, let's do it. So I found some vintage. Steve votes for Couch People Christmas Party. I found some vintage in my Goodwill pallet. I also found another binder. So these were both. So I'll show the binder because I actually got tired of taking all the vintage out of the binder. But I found another binder with modern stuff. I showed off yesterday. There was an Aaron Judge Topps rookie card, a Shohei Ohtani Bowman rookie card. There was like a Bowman auto. So this binder didn't have as many good cards, but it had an opening day Aaron Judge rookie card. It also had a Topps Heritage Aaron Judge rookie card. Funny thing about this card, by the way, I sold a second-year Aaron Judge card for I think $15. So this might be like a $25 or $30 card, maybe more. I don't know. Haven't looked. The funny thing about this card when it came out, the Heritage was released in 2017 in February, I think February or March, before Aaron Judge like went on his tear and Judge Mania helped skyrocket wax prices for the next few years, and then the pandemic blew that out of the water. So I bought a case of 2017 Topps Heritage, and I was selling I sold like every card, even the Cubs. I think this predated the 1 million Cubs project. I think I sold like every card out of my case. The Aaron Judge rookie card from Topps Heritage was like not even $1 card. It did not sell at auction. I had to run 2 auctions. The initial auction for 12, I think 10 or 12, Aaron Judge rookie cards did not sell for 99 cents plus like $4 shipping. Did not even sell for what is that? 50 cents a card? Didn't even sell for 50 cents a card. And then I put it on, I ran it a second time and I think it sold for like $6 shipped for 12 Aaron Judge Heritage rookie cards. And then a couple months later, they're like $20 cards, $20 cards. So, and this one, it probably bounced. I'm sure it bounced back up to around there. So that was in a binder. Let's see. Steve says, just started the playback. I use Mile IQ to track mileage for business. So what I was using for mileage was just my calendar. And this is what my wife does for real estate mileage. She'll just track her mileage each day and then write it in a note on Google Calendar. So that's what I do. So this binder, sometimes you have to get creative with binder. AC Delco transmission. It was a binder for remanufactured transmissions. AC Delco, and it's got like White Sox, Astros, Mets, Twins. But it's a lot of like early 80s, but actually these I took out the true vintage cards. Some fell out. Those are all like junk commons. So here's Jenny. Jenny, we've got some Twins. So a lot of like 70s, and there's some 60s cards in there. So let's just, it's really bulky. So I'll just pull some of the cards out. Because I think there is a Twin that's so 71 Topps, 70 Topps, 77, 78, 73, Jim Perry, 73. And these are the damn side. So this one's got a dinged corner, but we got 73 Topps Jim Perry. We've got some Mets going back to the 60s. We've got 65 Topps Ron Locke. 66 Topps Gordon Richardson. Let's see, who else? Oh, here's my guy. I don't know if Scott's still with us. My guy, Ray Burris. Let's see. Oh, here's another 60s card. 64 Topps George Banks of the Twins. Let's see. Oh, this is actually a decent card. Hall of Famer Jim. Is it Cat? I always Cat or Cott. Jim Cott. I should know. Don't hold it against me. Oh, here, we've got some stars now. That's not a star. That's a common. We've got record breaker Tom Seaver. We've got a 77 Topps Tom Seaver. So these I was pleasantly surprised. Now I was hoping some of these are backed. Some of these were back to back. So I saw a 70 Topps All-Star Jerry Koosman, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if there's a Jerry Koosman rookie card underneath. There wasn't. So Jerry Koosman. Oh, we've got another 60s card. 65. I like the 65 design. So Matt, I can't. So this pallet was $500. And most of them, because they charge per pound on the cards. So this was about $500. It was like after tax, it was like $501 and some change. Another 65, Jack Fisher. Did he play for the Cubs at one time? No, I don't think so. Let's see. I know there's some other star cards in here. So yeah, just a lot of like 70s throughout the decade. Herman's asking for Braves. Let me see if there's Braves. I don't think there's Braves in here. I'm on the Astros right now. They are divided by teams, so I'm in the Astros. Oh, here we go. I think we've got some stars here. This is not Braves. This is Astros. We've got Joe Morgan, 81 Topps. I am not a Joe Morgan fan. Here we go. But I'm a fan of his old cards. 72 Topps, Joe Morgan. That's a nice card. 72 Topps, Joe Morgan. Let's see. Still on the Astros. Still on the Astros. Oh, we got White Sox. We've got the Sox. Here's a cool card. Fringe. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Dick Allen. Dick Allen. Let's see. Now we're on the Mets. We've got Pumpsy Green. Pumpsy Green. Scott says yes. Dick Allen, Hall of Fame. Let's see. Oh, Gil Hodges. 72 Topps, Gil Hodges. Let's see. Still on the Mets. Oh, back to the White Sox. Those are 80s cards. Got a Harold Baines second-year card. Goose. The Stone Pony. Oh, here we've got an old Sox card. Going back to the 60s on John. He played for the Cubs. A couple of years for the Cubs. John Buzzhart. 58 and 59. Here's I like this. Lowell Palmer, 72 Topps. Lowell Palmer. Let's see. Still on the White Sox. Carlos May, Melton, Bill Melton. Belton, Bill Melton. Belton, Bill Melton. Couple Bill Meltons. Some 82s. Some 82s. Back to the Mets. So I thought there was, did I skip? So the teams in here, White Sox, Mets, Astros, Twins, and I'm pretty sure I missed a couple stars. Unless I pulled them out already. No Braves. So it's, yeah, just those like 4 teams. Huh. The cards I was looking for was Rod Carew. I thought there were some Rod Carew. Well, I know there were Rod Carew cards, but either I pulled them out already or... So there you go. So that's some of the vintage I found in that binder. And I've only scratched the surface on this Goodwill pallet. There's still a lot of stuff in the back of my car. So I got a lot of shipping to do this morning, and then try to tackle some more of that pallet later today. Let's see. Matt says, now they don't ship the pallet to you. You load up. So yeah, I have an SUV. So I basically just load it up into they bring the pallet out to me. It's in a Gaylord. And then I just pull all the binders and boxes out, put them in the back of my SUV. So that's how the process works. So that's what I had for today. Ooh, almost 90 minutes. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the suggestions on our Saturday, December 10th RIP party. I think I like Couch Potato Christmas Party. I like it. I like it a lot. So I think we'll go with that. So thank you for the suggestions. Thanks for the great chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will go live tomorrow morning, probably in the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow morning. There is no card shows for me. Time to do some more shipping and listing and shipping and listing. John says pallet shipping would cost hundreds. Absolutely. I'm not sure what the current rates would be. And it also depends where you're shipping it from and shipping it to. But yeah, it would definitely be a few $100. Belinda, what's up? Do you ever do a video showing what's sold on in a day? No, but that's a good idea. I may have to do that. That's a pretty good idea. The issue I would run into, I guess I could probably do it from like not logged, because what I don't want to do is show, like if I showed my eBay screen, it would show like the buyer usernames, and I don't want to do that. But I think I could go into log out of my eBay and then go into my store as like a non me. And then show my listed and show what's sold in the last day. Matt says what sold videos would be great. I agree. That is a good idea. So I'll look into doing something like that. Thanks for the chat, Belinda. I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for chatting. Have a great Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow.